Hi everybody, AstroTarotJohn here, and this is your daily one-card draw for Saturday, January 24th, 2026, and this is the Three of Wands from the Universal Fantasy Tarot. You can see the ship on the card, very similar to the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot deck, where they have someone on a cliff looking out over the boats in the harbor, representing new opportunities that are coming up for this explorer. The Three of Wands does represent the idea of exploration, being a visionary, seeing what's coming in the future and planning for it, and demonstrating leadership and providing direction. So what does this mean for us today? Well, one of the first things that we can talk about with the Three of Wands is taking calculated risks. So as a leader, we can take calculated risks. And what does that mean in your day-to-day life? Well, it can mean trying something new without being stupid about it. So for example, if you go to the gym and maybe you're ready to start lifting some heavier weights, maybe it's time to add a few more minutes to your cardio workout. Maybe it's time to try a new hobby or a new wrinkle in a hobby that you've tried before. At work, maybe it's time to ask about a new role or try something different at work, or maybe it's time to ask for that raise, or maybe it's time to ask about possible promotions that are coming down in the future for you. If you're talking about an organization, a community organization that you're part of, maybe that calculated risk is to say, hey, I'd like to try a leadership role, even if it's just for 6 months, or maybe I'd like to shadow somebody to find out what that's like. Calculated risks are important. So the Three of Wands talks about the importance of that. So my first piece of advice today would be consider calculated risks that you can take. The second part of the Three of Wands for me for today is be proactive. Oftentimes in our lives, we know the things that have to be done, but we kind of shove them in the back and we put them in the back of the closet, or we put them in the back burner, or you can use whatever metaphor you like, but we know the things that need to be done, but we don't do them right away. We think, oh, we'll do it later. Today is not the day to do it later. Today is to think about, what do I know that I have to do in the next couple of days, in the next week, in the next few weeks, in the next month? What tasks can I cross off my list, and I can have them out of the way, and I don't have to worry about them? Again, we always have things that are coming up. I know I've mentioned this in other videos, but we all know that our taxes are going to be due in a couple of months. That's one thing. One of the things that I have been trying to do, and it's a small thing, but it means a lot to me, is setting up appointments for haircuts. I would always get what I call the woolly mammoth look at home, when my wife would kind of look at me and go, I think you need a haircut. My goal is for her not to ever have to give me that look again. So I have been setting up appointments for haircuts every month, so that at just about the time where she might be giving me that woolly mammoth look, I can honestly say, hey, I'm going in 2 days for a haircut. So the Three of Wands kind of urges us to be proactive. Finally, the Three of Wands urges us to step up and be a leader. This isn't necessarily in the workplace, but it can also have workplace implications. A lot of us in the workplace are not leaders. We don't have leadership roles, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't act like a leader. We should be asking for more work. We should be saying, what's the next step? We should be saying, hey, why isn't this happening? I used to have a leader when I was at work that would consistently not respond to emails. And so I would have to really push this person to get anything done. And nothing would really happen if I hadn't done that. And I'm not saying that to pat myself on the back. It was just the reality of how we had to do business. And so as someone who was always pushing, to me, this was a card that I often saw in my own mind. And again, at home, this can work well too. As a leader at home, sometimes all you have to do is step up and do something that you see needs to be done, or say, hey, can we talk about this? Who's going to handle that? Sometimes that's all you need to be, is someone who wants to start a conversation. That's considered a leadership role to me as well. In any case, those are your 3 pieces of advice today with the Three of Wands. My name is AstroTarotJohn. I look forward to seeing you across my table soon, whether virtually or in person.